He's the executive director of the Foundation for Freedom Online, Mike Benz. Mike, thank you for joining me this evening. Brother, we're hearing some pretty disturbing accusations about some of where our tax dollars have gone via USAID. Give us the facts.
Well, that's because USAID is one of the most disturbing organizations in the entire federal government. It may rank #1, in fact. USAID is under the cloak of being a humanitarian aid organization designed to advance U.S. foreign policy, is assigned the dirtiest tasks that the State Department can't get caught doing, and that used to be done directly by the CIA. But USAID is able to act as essentially a covert operations division in the way that the CIA used to, except it's not even bound by the requirement of a presidential finding to authorize a covert operation that the CIA does, which is why what you've seen for the past 2 decades is that most of the international scandals involving spycraft have had to deal with USAID rather than CIA. And if you understand the CIA's history with money laundering, you'll begin to get a glimpse at the size of the problem with USAID and why they won't let either congressional oversight or DOJ see their books.
So have they literally have struck gold of the gold of corruption, the massive bank vault that holds all the dirty details and secrets of the left and of the machine, maybe left and right, anybody complicit in basically selling out the American citizen and their tax dollars for nefarious actions, and it sounds like including the CIA. What is the CIA implicated in more details in what they've done?
Oh, well, I mean, just to your point first about the Democrat-Republican side, it's both. While USAID employees contribute 97% to Democrats, the more pernicious concern, so far as I'm concerned, is actually the blob Republicans, the internationalist Republicans who profit off of exploiting the American empire for their own private gain. For example, Bill Kristol, the famous never-Trumper who likens MAGA people to terrorists, he is a part of an organization that receives millions of dollars from USAID. And so to the barricades, he goes to defend USAID. You find Liz Cheney was spawned out of USAID. USAID's sister group, the National Endowment for Democracy, has a Democrat organization and a Republican organization. And that Republican organization, the International Republican Institute, gets about $100 million a year just for Republican profiteering off of U.S. foreign policy. And the problem is far deeper than wokeness. And I want people to really understand this. When the National Endowment for Democracy, the constant companion of USAID and functionally interchanged, it was born out of a USAID memo in 1982 to give birth to the National Endowment for Democracy. But when they overthrew the government of Bangladesh 4 months ago in September 2024, these are leaked documents that were published in the gray zone just 3 months ago. The internal baseline assessment that the IRI submitted to the State Department was that the only groups that they could muster to form an opposition group against the sitting government were gay and transgender groups, were 2 racial minority groups within Bangladesh, and youth and student groups who predominantly listen to rap music. So what did they turn around and do? IRI, in tandem with USAID, they funded Bangladeshi rap groups. They funded transgender dance festivals. And they funded the local universities in order to push radicalization messages to overthrow the democratically elected government. But that was Republicans. That was the International Republican Institute, not the Democrats. And my concern is if this were just a partisan issue, there'd be no problem shutting USAID down. Because right now there's going to be a legal fight over whether you can shut USAID down by executive order. This is one of the main contentions right now that Democrats are vowing to fight. But if you couldn't do it through an executive order, you could do it through an act of Congress. The problem is it's going to be much harder to do it through an act of Congress because Republicans there, internationalist Republicans who do foreign policy for personal profit, can form a majority coalition bloc with Democrats. That is, they can defect over to the Democrats and shoot down an attempt to legislate USAID out of existence. And the problem, again, is because they either directly or indirectly, or their sponsors or donors, are on the take.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, we have hit the mother lode here. I really hope that it's something that President Trump can just issue an EO and say it's done. I hope also that as they begin to uncover the details of all of these schemes that go back 20 years, as you say, I hope that the individuals involved get exposed, and literally the America gets to see exactly who's been on the take for doing what, and maybe that'll push the ability for President Trump to sign an executive order and shut it down. What are your thoughts?
Well, in terms of what, the amount is totally eye-popping and overwhelming. The analogy that I've been giving for the past 2 years is that many people think they live in the world they think they live in, but in some respects, it's a carefully constructed Truman Show made up of movie characters around them, produced by USAID. And what I mean by that is USAID has infected the institutional architecture of every aspect of American society and world society. They have infected the media by USAID-sponsored media. They have infected social media by galvanizing advertiser boycotts and pressure to change social media algorithms. They've corrupted the prosecutors by USAID's work with prosecutors, prosecutor groups, and media groups to create predicates for prosecutors to take action. They've corrupted the unions. They've corrupted the public health institutions. Virtually every layer, from academia to civil society to the private sector to the media to the government, is flowing through with unaccountable USAID bribe money to advance what's said to be U.S. foreign policy interests. But because Donald Trump ran on a foreign policy vision dramatically different from the legacy establishment, they used USAID as the tip of the spear to kill the domestic drivers of foreign policy, a.k.a. take out the guy who's running for president and his movement, and you won't have to worry about anyone challenging our foreign policy vision.
Wow, I gotta go. This is amazing. I need to have you back on really soon, Mike. But really quickly, if you can tell me in 15 or 20 seconds, has every past president for the last 20 years known about this corruption with USAID and just chose not to do anything about it?
Well, most of them are on the take. Joe Biden was the head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, which directly oversees USAID. USAID was funding Burisma. USAID gave money to Burisma and had a formal partnership agreement with Burisma. Barack Obama's mother worked for USAID. The Bush family runs right through it. Bush's Vice President Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney worked for USAID. They're all in on it. And this is the reason that the Trump revolution was so revolutionary. It's because it defeated both sides of the USAID snake. And now we're going to see just exactly how the snake bites back when it's cornered.
I wonder if all of the lawfare and the everything that they threw at President Trump in his first term, the Russiagate, the collusion, all this stuff, I wonder if that was just to try to keep him on his heels enough to not look at USAID. But
wait, but that was a USAID thing
Mike
too.
Benz, appreciate you.
Can I say this one thing real quick? No, I have to say this.
Yes.
Okay. USAID funded a group called the OCCRP. Everyone can look this up. They paid $20 million to a group of hit piece journalists who turned around and dug up dirt on Rudy Giuliani and then used that as the basis to impeach the sitting president, Donald Trump, in 2019. That was USAID.
That right there, that explains it. I was just, again, you nailed it. You had the information, and it makes sense. I got to have you back soon, Mike. We're going to keep close eyes on this here at The Pulse. Mike Benz, thank you so much for your insights, brother.
Thanks, David.